What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. And today we're gonna go over TRX off-road trail damage. Now, you may be wondering, what the heck are you talking about? What damage did you take on? And yes, this is all little kind of minute stuff, but if you guys follow the channel, you know the last couple of weeks we have been putting the TRX through its paces. We went out and did some off-road side-by-side track driving on a 3-mile side-by-side track that was out in a field. No big massive jumps or anything like that, but we were moving 70 plus miles an hour out in the dirt off-road. And then we were out doing some jumping with the truck on road, but we were still flying the thing decently and landing it. And then of course we were running this thing at the drag strip. So it has been ran pretty hard in the last few weeks. That's why I kind of wanted to go over some of the things I have found on this thing that we need to address. And I guess first things first is the rock chips on the side of the truck. Now guys, as you can see, I do not have the Mopar side steps or the rock rails that you can order from the factory. And I do not have the power folding side steps either. I was trying to make my truck a very price point truck and knew that I could buy the steps after the fact instead of ordering it from the factory on the window sticker. So that's what I did. I didn't order any steps, but I knew that if you do any amount of research in the Raptor community, you'll know a lot of guys talk about the need to leave the factory big wide off-road style side steps on the truck because they work obviously as a side step, but the bigger thing they help with is rock protection if you're going to be going quick off-road. And let me explain. Off-road, you're going to be throwing all of the dirt and rocks off of the front tires, and they're going to be plastering with rocks and dirt all over the side of the truck. And then obviously with these big Baja trucks, you've got the big flared bedside, which on a normal truck, yeah, you're still gonna get rock chips, but those rocks can fly right next to the truck. But on these Raptors and TRXs, rocks are going to just completely annihilate this side of the bed. And yes, we weren't on a terribly rocky off-road course, but I don't know if you guys can see on camera, but I do have a few little rock chips already formed from just going fast out in the dirt. Like I said, we weren't in the sand, we weren't in big heavy rock, we weren't in gravel, we were just out in the dirt field going quickly. So I can only imagine if you were out in the sand or out in heavier rock, what you'd be doing to the bedside of the truck. So as cool as power side steps are, they also aren't going to do any protection when you're going high speed off-road. So the fix or repair is the big Mopar off-road style side steps. Now, like I said, these are pretty much completely copy knockoff of those original Ford Raptor side steps. Big, wide, nice platform that is kind of a rhino line bed liner textured. So they work really well, and they'll save the seats because you won't be sliding in and out of the seats, killing the side of the seats. And again, the main reason I am putting them on is to help the bedside and help the doors and rockers of the truck from getting just destroyed with rock chips. So I'll probably maybe have another video of installing those because we're not just going to put them on. Of course, I'm going to have to modify the brackets to make them fit up even tighter and higher than what they're supposed to fit. But that, again, that's a different video. So that is our first issue, and that's how we're going to address it. And again, if you guys didn't know, this truck is even running little Rally Armor splash guards that I installed really early on. So we're already offering a little more protection than a truck with nothing else. So that brings us to the second issue that I've found here with the TRX going fast off-road, and that is with the bed. When the Raptors came out and they started jumping them, guys noticed the bed sides would flex and hit the tailgates. So there are bed stiffeners or bed support brackets that you bolt into the bed that help support the bed sides. Now, even from my little bit of high-speed off-road use here with the TRX, I have already hit the bed sides on the tailgate and caused paint chipping down to bare metal. I'll throw the pictures in here, hopefully. And as you can see, I do have obviously very small paint chips, but where there's bare metal, there's eventually going to be rust. So in the Ford Raptor community, there are, again, bed supports or bed stiffeners that you bolt in place there, kind of in the corner back of the bed, that helps stiffen the bed up. Because even as we are just standing here, I'm going to try to just flex the bed. Again, I don't really know how well that picks up with me just pushing on it, but you can make that gap get tighter by pushing on the bedside. And no, that's not the truck being junk. It's not built poorly. If you go to any current new truck and do that, you can flex the bedside. Now, most of the trucks aren't being jumped and driven at 100-mile-an-hour off-road, causing even more strain on that. So you don't really see the issue. These trucks that are out jumping, doing go fast desert stuff is what you see. Now, there aren't any companies making bed supports for TRXs, or at least that I've found. Let me know down in the comments if you found somebody making bed supports, but I have seen none out there. If you search bed supports for Ford Raptors, there's a million companies making a million different styles of brackets. Obviously, since those trucks have been out for a long time, there's going to be a lot more aftermarket support. So I've got a couple options. I can either wait for a company to make some bed supports, which surely eventually maybe they will happen, or I can attempt to produce or make my own bed supports. I don't know, I need to grab some metal and see what I can come up with, because surely anything would be better than nothing. If I could get some angle iron and have some on the bottom, some on the sides, and a cross piece to support the two, maybe have it Line-X so it matches the bed, I don't know. But something needs to be done, because it's just going to continue to hit as you beat on the truck off-road. So that's kind of the big second thing that needs to happen. And third, last but not least, we're going to be going under the hood for this one. And guys, we are going to be talking about the stock Airbox. Now, I have done nothing under the hood of this truck Airbox or intake related. Stock filters, stock box. Obviously, I'm not running the engine cover, but everything's stock. The hood's stock. It's all how it should be. And what I found when I lifted the Airbox after doing the off-road side-by-side track, when I was following that Can-Am Maverick, because I was obviously very covered in his dust. I was right behind him. The truck was breathing in a lot of dust, but the TRX was toting about its great dust and dirt filtration with this factory Airbox. So I wasn't really concerned. You know, they talked about out in the dunes, no worry about sand and dust getting into the engine. So no big deal, but I thought it would be interesting to check the factory Airbox after playing out in the dirt, just to bang the filters out, see if there was a bunch of dirt and dust, see what the deal was. And to my surprise, we had dirt pulling through into the top of the Airbox, which is the clean side of the Airbox. And again, I'll throw a couple of pictures in here. The first one will just be the top of the Airbox, and the second one, I kind of have wiped my finger through the dust so you can see where the dust is and where it isn't. And to me, that is a pretty aggressive amount of dust getting past the air filters. Now, again, I don't know, are they getting past the air filters or are they pulling in the side of the airbox? Because we do have two different ways dirt could be getting into this airbox. It could either be pulling around the air filter rubber gasket, or it could be getting in between the two halves of the airbox. Now, the most of the dirt seemed to be on this passenger side of the airbox, on this side as it rolls up. The air does come in here, rolls under, and then we also have the air that comes in from the front. But like I said, for some reason, most of that dirt was sitting on this side of the airbox. And just so you guys are aware, the upper part of the airbox is what then feeds into the engine. So that is definitely no good at all. That means the engine is sucking up some dirt, some dust. Yeah, that's no good. You don't want that in any engine, but you definitely don't want that going through your supercharger and getting forced into the engine. I don't really know what the fix is going to be for that. I'd like to put some high flow filters in this truck eventually, but don't know, will a thicker gasket around the filter fix that issue, or is the dirt and dust getting in the edges of the airbox? I don't know. I'm not really sure how to test for that. I'm kind of brainstorming putting some heavy tape around the perimeter of the airbox between the two top and bottom halves, go out, get it dirty and dusty, pull the lid again and check, but I don't really know where the dirt's getting pulled past. But it is an issue we probably need to address if you're gonna be playing out in the fine dust, dirt, sand. All of that's no good to get in the engine. But I have rolled under the truck and all the shocks seem happy, all the suspension seems happy. So even with all of the beating that we did, the truck obviously is built for that and seems very happy. So guys, we've got some first year learning and overcoming, I guess, to do with the TRX. Obviously the rock chip issue, that's just cosmetic. Obviously you could have side steps on it, you could put some splash guards on it, or you could do some paint protection film. All of those will take care of that issue. Not really a big deal, but it's a big, expensive new truck. You don't really want it all chipped up looking bad. The bedside flexing into the tailgate issue, yeah, it's kind of a known off-road desert truck thing in the Raptor community. Obviously, we need to get some bed supports made or purchased or aftermarket become available. That will fix that issue. But that third airbox issue is kind of something that we possibly need to get figured out before one of us sucks up too much dirt into one of these things. So guys, just some of my observations that I noticed from playing with this thing pretty hard over the last couple of weeks. Let me know down in the comments if you've got any good thoughts, opinions, suggestions on any of these three issues, or if you've seen any issues with your truck as you've been out playing with them off-road. So guys, hopefully you stuck around with me. I know it wasn't very exciting talking about issues with our big expensive trucks, but it's unfortunately one of the things we need to do to keep playing with these things is to keep them protected and find what we need to upgrade on these things. So guys, as always, thanks for watching and we'll catch you guys next time.